Hello, hello, hello. Good to see you. You get fairy dust and I get fairy dust. And this little friend gets fairy dust. All right, we are going to talk about, she says hello, growing a thick skin. I got a question, so this is an episode of Ask in Advance, bitch. Okay, growing a thicker skin. I don't recommend it. And for me, that doesn't work. For me, if I am trying to grow a thicker skin, that makes me feel like I have to not be myself. Because if I am purely in survival mode or protection mode, and that actually has an asterisk, but because sometimes we do have to enter a place protected and armored and conscious. But just in general of thinking like, how do I grow a thicker skin? To me, that brings up a few things. One of them is that if people have told you that in the past, that to me is a hint that that is an insult having to do with your sensitivity. And when I say sensitivity, I mean the intelligence of sensitivity, the power of being a highly sensitive person, that's actually an intelligence, talent, and it's part of who you are. And so if someone has said that to you, or now you're just saying it to yourself and you're highly sensitive, that is a disconnect. Because we want to, the goal is, how do I maintain my intelligence, protect my intelligence, honor my intelligence of being highly sensitive, and how to be in a world where people are being dum-dums and jerks. And so the question was asked in a sense of, how do I get a thicker skin at work? And if you go there every day and there's toxic people every day, in my mind, okay, that's the difference. It's like a thicker skin. That means that's something about me that I have to change, and I'm not doing that. I have done that most of my life, and I'm just not doing it anymore. But what I can do is armor myself with things or symbols or just office supplies that have a conscious raising ability, meaning maybe you have a special pen that you use when you're at work to remind yourself, and maybe it's a different color if it's not a particular brand, that you use to help you stay conscious, not to arm yourself, to protect yourself. We do sometimes need protective gear, but we don't need to become the protective gear. We get to be ourselves, and then we consciously use symbols and clothing. So this is a jacket. I don't usually wear jackets, but and this is a synchronicity because I wasn't thinking about this when I was going to answer the question. But a jacket is more armor than, let's say, a sweater or a top. And so, and for me, bows are very symbolic. It's just, part of my style. And I used to like sneak one in anytime I could get one. But now I just wear multiple bows. There's bows on my feet, bows on my outfit, bows in my hair. And what if it's not a bow? It's a sparkle. And these are things that help me through life, that bring me joy automatically. And that I arm, so if I was going into a difficult situation today, I would wear this instead of something more, softer or whatever. And in my mind, I would be kind of suiting up to face a thing. But my skin is still thin, getting thinner as I age. I'm still me, and I get to put on the protective gear of a place that has toxic people. So I don't think of myself getting a thicker skin as any kind of a goal. For me, it would be, how do I figure out tools, techniques in order to protect myself from toxins? At the same time, I still get to be myself. So those two things. And how to protect yourself. I love using symbols. I love using metaphors. I love using, any kind of game that I can apply. And so I get my skills and my tools, and my toolbox always is with me. And one of the main things for me that has helped me the most in my life, as far as protecting myself, I have attitude of play when it comes to protecting myself in places, as I have already mentioned. But advanced bitches study dynamics. So we have to start paying attention in our different places that we go about what is going on. What's the dynamic? What part am I playing in the dynamic? How can I get unhooked by the dynamic? And I have several ways of doing that, of figuring that out. But if I am going to a place where, let's say there's just two toxic people, I have to figure out what the toxicity is. What's the dynamic what's the game they're running? What's the dynamic that they're doing? What is this? For instance, an example would be like, oh, so-and-so is passive aggressive. Like, that's one of their moves. And so if I see somebody who is passive aggressive and then they do a passive aggressive thing, I don't get upset and I don't get hooked by that, because how else would a passive aggressive person behave? They would be passive aggressive. And I often say to myself and in my office, we don't get mad at dogs for well, I actually do get mad at my dog for barking sometimes, but we're not supposed to get mad at a dog for barking, because that is what dogs do. Dogs bark. That's what they do. And so if I'm hooked by a dog barking, I'm the unconscious one. That means that there's something going on with me, that I'm expecting a creature or a person to behave differently than they're supposed to behave. Now, I'm not saying a person is supposed to be passive aggressive, but if that is a behavior that they do over and over and over again, and it's so fucking predictable, then I can say, that's a passive aggressive person. And if I get hooked by passive aggression, then I'm the one unconscious. So then my work is, how do I get myself unhooked from a passive aggressive person? And so, that it has its own 3 videos how to do that. But it is possible. It is possible to heal. You have to fully heal. You have to be committed to not just personal growth, but advanced fucking personal growth. Like advanced. And that, to me, is the only cure, the only secret to how to be free and fucking happy and excited about your life, and a way to get out of the fucking bed in the morning, is to live this way. So you're doing it, and I am here with you, sharing every single thing I can possibly think of to make your way easier, because that is what makes my way easier in life, is to share my experience, strength, and hope with doing advanced personal growth work. So I hope that was helpful. Ask me any follow-up questions. Mwah! Love you. So honored. Bye.